So before we get into this, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
Are we related?
Are we related?
Yeah, are we like brothers? Technically?
No.
Okay. But are we related in any way?
We have people that are related to you that live in my home.
Yeah, so that tracks, right? We're on the same tree then.
I don't think that's how family trees work. Now, there have been advances in the family tree bracketology that may then include it, just because there are so many, what do they call them? Not mixed families. It's something like that, though. Blended families. That's the word I was looking for.
So you're saying, so we're not brothers then?
No. First of all, my name's Matt, and you already have a brother named Matt.
I just thought.
This isn't like Newhart.
My brother Daryl, my other brother Daryl. I used to love that show.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Might be able to talk about that on the other podcast.
Yeah. That's one of the funniest shows ever. Used to watch that with my dad.
Same.
Good times.
Look,
So
look what it did to them.
Yeah. So we're related to our dads, but we have to be related.
Why?
Because our families just, everything we do is our families, and we say our families, right?
Sure.
So you're related to me now.
Ugh.
I mean, you don't have to be a brother. You could be like some weird uncle-nephew thing.
I am a weird uncle-nephew thing.
So that'd be an uncle?
What?
So you don't want to be family then?
I'm not saying that you're right. I don't.
Okay. Episode over. Let's just check in.
You ever heard the song Change Partners?
I don't know if I want
to. It's just an idea. Don't worry about it.
It's a great song.
Harry Connick Jr. does a fantastic version of it.
Yeah. You should look it up. Matter of fact, you should write down the lyrics and you should follow them. So, I've often said that you're too legit to quit.
Which is weird because I feel like I've quit this podcast at least 10 times since we've started.
Every episode. I just usually cut it out. That is
for
legit.
Some reason, like
legit. No cap.
Maybe this says something about me.
That you're difficult to podcast with?
No, that I keep quitting and still come back.
You love me.
Just because I know you cut it out of the episode, I feel like it doesn't count, so I have to come back.
Okay. So I'll keep cutting it out. You just keep on quitting, and I'll legitimately just keep bringing you back into this son of a bitch.
But I'm too legit.
You are too legit
to quit.
Hey, that's an MC Hammer song.
It is an MC Hammer song.
Do you think he would legitimately listen to this episode?
Probably not. But I do know that my friend in high school, his parents sold his house.
Sold MC Hammer's house or sold it to MC Hammer?
Sold it. He was the owner and he sold it to somebody else.
That story doesn't sound legit to me.
Well, I mean, it was after he had gotten less famous.
I'm kind of already tired of saying legit.
Already?
And we're just about to start this episode.
We didn't start it yet?
Welcome to Hang Out Your Slang Out. This is legitimately going to be a painful episode.
Super legit.
To quit.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of my friends in college use the term legit.
Yeah, it used to get used a lot.
It's interesting that I even host this podcast because it used to make me so violently angry when they would use the term legit, because legitimate is a word and you can just say the word and not shorten it.
Well, it's for legitimate or legitimately, right? So it's just a shortened version of both of that.
The shortened version of legitimately is actually legitly.
Is it?
Yeah.
I honestly never heard that.
Yeah.
And that's not me just playing dumb. That's me for reals.
The only reason that I know that is because sadly I had to hear it a lot.
I'm seeing something else here. I've already pulled up Urban Dictionary. It's like my best friend. And for legit, they obviously have it saying it's the shortened version of legitimately and legitimate. But they also they say the meaning means real, not fake.
Yeah, that's legit.
Okay. See, you like the word.
I don't. Well, okay. So I liked it when MC Hammer used it because MC Hammer, the house that my friend's parents sold, was in my hometown. So that's very exciting that MC Hammer lived in my hometown.
And anytime we can talk about MC Hammer's pants on this podcast, we are all about it.
Parachute pants are all the rage.
Yep.
They're coming back, people. I don't know about that, but they should.
Should I post some of mine from back in the day?
No, I won't post mine either. It's okay.
Yeah. I actually just found some. I've been going through my parents. My dad has all these pictures he took on slides that I haven't seen ever. And apparently he was there for when I was breakdancing, and he took a whole bunch of me breakdancing.
Damn it.
So
that means I could have gotten the name out of him.
I don't even know if you knew. Well, it might be spray painted on the box I'm dancing on. I'll look. I'll find it.
I just can't believe you broke under the nickname Numbnuts Messerschmitt.
Well, you know, it was legit back then, right?
It was.
It was kind of like the Native Americans. They would give you like, if you, whatever they saw you doing, that would be your name. Like, you know, walks funny, whatever. So Numbnuts, that just fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did get kicked in the nuts a lot.
My dad named me.
Yeah. So I really hated legit in college. And now I probably do use it from time to time, and that makes me sad.
So it was legit.
But I think what makes me the most sad is it was a slang term so powerful that people forgot that there was a real word. Like you never hear the word legitimate anymore. You legitimately never hear the word legitimate.
Yeah, I guess you don't, right? Is this 80s or 90s though? Did it originate in the 80s?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the song would have been
95, 94?
No, like 89, 91, somewhere in there.
Wasn't it from the Addams Family though? He put it was for the soundtrack for Too Legit to Quit.
Yeah, but
that was he did it for the soundtrack for.
Well, he didn't do it for the soundtrack.
Well, I guess it was just on this album. Yeah.
It was on the Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him album.
And I've been waiting to drop this. Please, Kian, don't hurt him.
Too late.
What? I'm going to back this up. That's how I'm going to start this episode. Please, Kian, don't hurt him. And then we'll go right into that.
Perfect. That sounds great.
It sounds amazing.
So tell us, Internet, when did Too Legit to Quit come out? Make sure that it's the number twos, because that's key.
No, it's 200.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a TOO. But... Well, I guess it does come up with the twos, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you are an MC Hammer fan. Released 91. I said 90s. You said 89.
I said 89, 91, somewhere in there.
Really? You did
roll back the tape. Stop the presses.
All right.
Start the presses.
I guess I got to start listening to you all the way through.
Or at all, I think is the word you were looking for. Like legit, you need to start listening to me. See?
For a word that you hate, you use it pretty well.
I know, because I know where it belongs. It
belongs in 91?
No, I know where it belongs in a sentence.
Well, at least this isn't one of the words where they miss, like they chop up the word and then give it use a word that does nothing to do with the damn word. It's just them cutting the word in half, right?
Yeah, I guess. And that's because, this comes from a time when slang made sense.
Yeah. It's also one of your pet peeves is when they cut it and it doesn't make it. It's not less syllables. They're more syllables sometimes when they cut a word or they give a new thing for one of the slang words. But this one they cut a couple syllables out. So right, that's good, right?
Yeah, I guess.
See, I'm gonna flip you on this.
No, you're not.
You're gonna love this by the end, and I'm gonna hate it by the end.
One of those two things will probably be true. No, I'll never love it. Like I said, I use it probably now, but it's not for liking it. It's probably out of laziness, the same reason that they all use it in the first place.
So you're saying you're lazy?
In this instance, yeah.
No. I don't believe that for a minute.
Well, bully it. Because that's legit.
I'm telling you, this is the next bed episode. You've used legit like 40 times and we've been talking for 10 minutes.
I haven't used it that many times.
39 times.
I have not used it that many times. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know legitly was the short version of legitimately.
I've never heard that. I literally never heard someone say that.
You've legitly never heard somebody say it.
See, that just sounds dumb. So let's just stick with legit.
It's taking out literally the exact same part of legitimate.
Let's push this. Let's just push this to the edge. Let's redefine this slang term because it's from the 90s. Okay. Right. Maybe possibly borderline early or late 80s.
Sure.
So let's bring it into now. So let's cut legit in half. We'll just call it lidge.
I don't think we should call it lidge.
Why not? We should lidge, call it lidge.
No. Leg.
I thought about calling it leg, but that doesn't sound like legit. So we got to, how about jit? There it is.
No, jit already is another slang term.
Oh, shoot. That's on our list, huh?
Yeah.
Well, then maybe this would fall under that.
Well, yeah, in France, because it would be le jit.
Le shit?
Meaning the jit.
I thought you pronounced the G's with a sh.
Nope.
When I pronounce French, that's how I pronounce. I always pronounce it like perfect. Fluent.
Sweet.
Fluent.
I want you to know, I looked up where our listeners are located, and 10 of them are in France.
Not anymore.
3 more in Quebec. So we are kind of screwed on that.
Well, especially since, didn't you go after their teeth? No, that was you.
No, I went after the British.
Yeah. So we're fine then.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay.
The English don't understand what we're saying. They speak English.
Yeah. Really? French listener, huh?
13.
Should I start speaking? I know French. Should I start using it?
Probably not.
Les poupous.
That's not French.
It's totally French. It means I'm going to lay down a piece of poop gently. It's a beautiful language. It's very sophisticated. I don't know if you'll get it.
Just out of curiosity, did you take a foreign language in high school as is required by law?
No, it wasn't required when I went to school.
Bullshit.
Seriously, it didn't.
It was required when my dad went to school. There's no way it wasn't. Required. Yeah.
Not in Kingman.
You know what? That story checks.
Yep. It wasn't. And I think it was when my kids went to school.
They were like, pick up your damn freedom fries and stop worrying about other languages.
I should have. I regretted that I didn't at least take Spanish.
My mom took Spanish. My dad took Latin.
Mm-hmm. I'm technically half Mexican. Well, I guess a quarter or 30% Hispanic, I guess. I don't know. Half?
I don't know. I don't know what your mom is.
She's Hispanic.
Like full?
Maybe not full. I'll have to check on that.
Well, here you go, math man. If she's full, you're half.
How did you figure out my breakdance name? Math Man. Captain Math Man.
Because everything equals suck.
I'm gonna equal this head spin on you right now. That's all. My mom's Hispanic. She was raised to not speak Spanish, even though she knew it when she was younger. It was considered something bad because her dad, they lived in Northern California, and I guess it was frowned upon. So
so now you're calling my people racist?
Pretty much. As racist as it gets. Well, it's not just Northern California. There's plenty of places, especially back then in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, there's
tons of racist people.
There's nothing that you could say more true about California other than they're not open to people of different kinds.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Everybody goes after California for being California, but there's just as many hard, fast, racist, conservative people there as there are in Texas. Because there's a zillion people live in California. And then you have the exact opposite.
It's like 30 million.
So that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
So I always think it's funny that it's like they're owning themselves when they complain about California.
No, and honestly, we live in a state where I know you've seen plenty of times, and I know I have too, the don't California my Arizona.
That's such a dumb saying.
What I really enjoy is there's don't California my Arizona, and then I've seen don't California my Colorado, which California and Colorado, like the things that would make somebody say don't California my Arizona are the things that California would get along with Colorado. So I don't understand really what's happening other than them just not wanting people from California in their state.
I've heard Texas and Montana say it as well.
But like the Central Valley of California is all very similar to here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people there.
Yes.
And
Are some of them annoying and scumbags? Sure.
Right.
There's
on both sides.
But there's a ton of beautiful people, has some of the most beautiful scenery in the U.S., has hands down the best food. I don't care what anybody says. California has all the best food. And when other states get really good food, they always rip off California because some chef went from California there to bring it there. And then they're like, oh, we're the new hotspot. Yeah, putting out California food.
I mean, New York has entered the chat.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. Because it's like Coke and Pepsi. It's just the two big dogs on the block, New York and California. So, right?
I think so.
Yeah. East Coast, West Coast. We Tupac and Biggie.
Sure.
Right. That's a legit fight right
That's legitly a fight right there.
Legitimately. Tomato. My new favorite.
No, it would be tomato.
Tomatoey.
Tomato metly.
Oh, I was back to my point. I was saying my mom was told not to speak Spanish. And the first time I asked her when I was a kid, it was like, well, why don't you teach me Spanish? She was like, why don't you teach yourself? So I had that going for me.
Well, that explains a lot about you trying to use languages that aren't English.
Mm-hmm.
It even goes to explain a little bit of you using English.
There's no argument there, I guess. So you had a legit point right there.
Thank you.
Touche. That's French. Yeah. That's Canadian, right? It's French Canadian.
Yeah, it's French Canadian.
French Canadian.
There's French Canadian is a language.
Prove me wrong. Say it's not.
It's not.
Back me up, Canada. Come on, Bryan Adams and Shania Twain. Let's do this. Let's take this boy down.
That's all you want? You want like...
Well, that's all I need. Bryan Adams and Shania Twain?
All the other good ones are dead, I guess.
Who are you going to come at me with?
I don't know. Bob Saget.
Yeah, but he's... Oh, the ghost of Bob Saget? That's scary. There's people who are alive, like Ryan Reynolds.
John Candy.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Rick Moranis.
We are doing a John Candy. Oh, shoot. Wait. Is it Mike Myers from Canada?
Mike Myers is absolutely from Canada.
Shoot. All right.
Jim Carrey's from Canada.
Why are all the good comedians from Canada?
Because they don't take shit seriously.
True. And they have health care.
If you can't play hockey, you tell jokes or something. I think that's how Canada works.
So there's no funny hockey players?
No, they're funny too. They're just good at something else that can give them more money than telling jokes.
I got you. Never met a funny hockey player. That's legit. See, it works. This word works fine.
They're funny because they're Canadian. Again, they don't take life so seriously. Like they'll say funny shit all the time.
Mm-hmm. And they have a beautiful country.
They do. Beautiful country with better looking money.
Now, so there's an argument. We're going to rate how pretty money is.
Our money's ugly. So yes.
So you must be colorblind. You can't see green.
I mean, it's the only color. So that's why it sucks.
Oh, you think it'd be better if it was like Monopoly? So we have like different shades?
No. Monopoly money looks stupid. Just go find yourself some Canadian money. Or really any other country.
Yeah, so like, do they have like Mike Myers and Jim Carrey on their money and stuff?
Yeah, that's exactly what they have.
That would be awesome.
Everybody knows that Mike Myers was the third prime minister of Canada.
Wasn't his dad?
No.
Oh, all right.
Will Arnett.
These are
Did you
facts,
say Arnett?
No, we didn't say Will Arnett. I was waiting for you to get
Canadian.
to him. I thought you'd get to Will. I thought you'd get to Will first because you're trying to be friends with Will. He just doesn't know it yet.
Their calmness and lack of taking life too seriously is legit.
Is Martin Short Canadian?
Absolutely.
God damn it. That's
they
a lineup. They
seriously have everybody.
Jesus Christ, that's a lineup. I'm completely enthralled with the new season of Only Murders in the Building.
Same.
They really bounced back with this season.
I was going to say, I was talking to somebody else about it. And season 1 I loved. And season 2, I still liked a lot, but it felt like they jumped the shark a little bit on it.
Yeah, it felt a little forced in places, and they went places I didn't like.
They really dialed it back in for season 3. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's them listening to the criticism they had from season 2. But whatever it is, hey, kudos.
To me, that's Steve Martin. Steve Martin will come out with just something that is classic and is about as good as it gets when it comes to writing. And like, not even just comedy. Like, he is a really good writer. And then he'll put other stuff out, and I'm like, well, that's not Roxanne. That's like, you like.
And they got Matthew Broderick to be in this season.
But it has your favorite boy on it, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, no, I know.
But yeah, I'm enjoying the way it's being packaged as well.
Yeah, no, they've done a really good job, to the point where like each week, once I think that I've figured out the murderer, by the end of each week, I'm like, nope,
I haven't figured
it's
out.
got to be somebody else.
I have it written down. 2 episodes ago, I put down, it's like Clue. I'm going to reveal it at the end that I knew who the killer was.
Well, spoiler alert, it was probably not Colonel Mustard, so you should not tell people that.
Damn it. Take off crowbar. Shit.
It did happen in the library, though.
And he used legit to kill him.
He did. He said it so many times. He was like, nah.
Yeah. Well, we're pretty good at that.
Brain exploded.
We're pretty good at killing words by using it over and over again.
Yeah, I think, the fact that I'm possibly coming around on it a little bit should kill it off real quick.
To me, legit would be one of those words I would have thought you would have used. Like,
it's typical California slang, and I probably should be behind it, and I just never got that way. But I've never hated it so much where I wouldn't use it either, so I guess there's something to that.
It doesn't sound like California slang. It doesn't sound as dumb as California slang.
Say totally in front of it.
Oh, okay. Touche.
It's totally legit, bro.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, that's all you have to do to make anything California slang. Say totally in front of it and bro behind it, and like you are golden.
Okay. All right.
Dude, that's totally legit, bro.
Totally hella legit.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. He won that battle. But I don't mind the word. But it's just because I used to like to sing that song.
I mean, I also used to like to sing that song.
Yeah. Too legit to quit. Hey, hey. Oh, yeah. That's the whole part. If you don't do that part when you're singing it, you're a damn bastard.
That too legit to quit hand motion, one has to imagine he stole in part from Dave Coulier's Uncle Joey character.
Oh, his cut it out.
Cut it out.
Hey, we're pretty good at this if we're tying in MC Hammer and Dave Coulier.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
Not a Coulier fan, though.
No.
I'm a Kool-Aid fan.
So you're kind of like Alanis Morissette in that way?
I am
another Canadian?
Totally Alanis. Oh, shoot. She is Canadian.
Also, I'm pretty sure Dave Coulier is Canadian.
Well, can't all be winners. All I know is Canada's got everybody. Does America have anybody who's good?
No.
Foo Fighters? Dave Grohl? Virginia?
Yeah, but he'd probably say in an argument that he's Canadian.
I would claim him too if I was Canada. But they got Ryan Reynolds, Keanu, right?
Yeah, the cat or Reeves?
Both. So let's hear your story about the Olsen twins. So legit, they're not fun.
So in the same building that Arnold Schwarzenegger yelled at me, we were having...
Which, if you guys haven't heard that story, go back to one of our former episodes and listen to that because it's my favorite story ever.
We're not going to tell you which one so that hopefully you listen to all our former episodes because, baby, we need it.
And he does a hell of a Schwarzenegger impression as well.
Anyway,
not as good as mine, but
okay. Separate party. It was our grand opening party, so it was like all the famous people there, and in what has to be the weirdest grouping of people hanging out, the Olsen twins were hanging out with Terry Bradshaw.
So that's disturbing.
So Terry Bradshaw,
is this underage Olsen twins? Or are they over 18 now?
They were over 18 for sure. They might have been 21 by that point. No, they would have been over 18, but under 21.
Still way creepy.
They weren't hanging out with him in that way. Because it was just famous people in general that were there. They were occupying the same space.
Okay.
And they're not great, but they also grew up from being, babies on TV to so like I'm not giving them a blanket excuse on that. Terry Bradshaw, he is a clown, and nobody should ever talk to that guy. He is the worst.
Really?
Oh my God, he is so bad as a human being.
For reals?
Yeah.
For reals?
Yeah, I did not like him at all. And that's what makes me mad when, like, if you watch I guess he's on the Fox NFL pregame.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he acts like he's likable and stuff. Like, no, I've interacted with that guy. He is not likable.
So, like, in Kingman, they filmed a couple movies. They did Mars Attacks, Universal Soldier. I think they did this old 80s movie called The Wraith with Charlie Sheen. But I didn't directly interact with it, but my wife was in Universal Soldier. She's one of the extras. So she met all of those guys. She met Dolph Lundgren and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Is that why Jane looks kind of like Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I kind of, no, it'd be Dolph Lundgren. Because that's the thing, is while Jean-Claude Van Damme was there, he got a speeding ticket for driving drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to go talk to, one of his things for his probation was to go talk about not doing drugs and alcohol. So he showed up at my brother's elementary school and told him, don't do drugs, and did high kicks and shit like that. But my wife, when she met him, he was the biggest.
Is anything better than the 80s?
And yeah. And she said Jean-Claude was the biggest asshole in the world. But this was at his heights too, of him when he was, and you could tell he was an asshole. But she's like, yeah, he was that. And this is
almost part of his shtick, right? Like, even when they bring him on that Friends episode, like, part of the Friends episode is him being a dick.
It's like he relishes in it. And this was when Dolph Lundgren was coming off of Rocky IV, where he was absolutely hated by every American because that part was so great, and he was kind of typecast. And she said people were scared.
But he would break you.
Yeah, he would. She said people were scared to talk to him, so he would literally be in between scenes and standing by himself because everybody would go to Jean-Claude, and Jean-Claude would tell him to fuck off and do anything. So she's like, screw it, I'm gonna go talk to him. So she went up to Dolph Lundgren and hung out with Dolph Lundgren, and he said he was the sweetest guy in the world. And I think they had Mr. Olympia was one of the soldiers in it. He's like the big, huge guy. Anybody seen the movie? I guess in the store, in the meat department, the guy takes a big steak and takes a big chunk out of it, and eats it raw. So it's that guy. That guy was hitting on my wife the whole time. And Tiny, the big African American guy who played Zeus and the wrestling and all that stuff. One that has the crooked eye or whatever. She said he was the sweetest guy in the world too. But it was pretty much universally
soldiery.
Yes, universally soldiery that Jean-Claude was not very nice. But so I know that, and I know a couple of people that waited on Michael J. Fox and Sarah Jessica Parker because they were in Mars Attacks. Because they stayed in town. I think they stayed at the Holiday Inn in Kingman. And they all said he was the greatest guy. They said she was a bitch and a half, but he was the sweetest guy in the world. So I'm like, thank God. Just don't meet your heroes.
Unless they're Michael J. Fox.
Or MC Hammer.
Because that guy's a saint.
He seems like it. Are you scared to meet like Ryan Reynolds or something? What if it turns out he was not what we want him to be?
No, I'm not even scared in the least, because I can't imagine that being the case. Like, I imagine that if any kind of asshole, he would just be sarcastic, which I can take because I understand sarcasm.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you would have a tough time with it. But
that's not true.
I think that he's Canadian. He'd be an amazing human being.
All right.
So, against my better judgment, I think I would say that episode was pretty legit.
So you do like it?
I'm coming around on it.
So I brought him back to the light side. He's a dark side man.
I don't know that it's the light side necessarily, but it's the less hateful side, I suppose.
Okay. Because there's no hate when it comes to MC Hammer and his music.
No.
So just embrace it. Please?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Since we were talking about MC Hammer. When he was growing up, did you know he was the bat boy for the Oakland Athletics?
Actually, I think I did know that.
Oh, well,
but
this podcast is over. Got it.
But not off the top of my head. That's one of those facts where you got to say it for me to be like, oh yeah, okay, I heard that before. But it's probably on Oprah or something. because she's legit.
She's too legit.
I'd say she's too legit to quit, but she already quit. So
Quitter.
done.
Nobody likes a quitter, Oprah.
Please, Kian, don't hurt him. I knew that would fit one of these times.
Hopefully it's that time.
All I know is it's about that time again where we say goodbye to you all. I leave you with something very smart and funny.
Or what he just said. If you feel that this episode was legit, don't hesitate to reach out and let us know about it. If you didn't feel this episode was legit, definitely reach out and let us know about it.
Yes.
You can contact us at hangoutslangout@gmail.com.
Hey, you got that right.
First time for everything.
Yep. Can they find us anywhere else?
Yeah, sometimes we like go to the store and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Totally.
you can find us on Instagram and Facebook and X, I believe, and Threads, and
Twitter,
Pinterest.
It'll be Twitter again. We're on Pinterest now?
No.
It's just those pictures we took back in like the 90s.
You shouldn't be able to find those on Pinterest. Etsy. We have a nice little Etsy shop. Okay, maybe not the last few, but you can find us on the other things.
The Facebook dating app, right?
No.
Oh, I didn't even know that existed. I just figured out that was a thing.
He didn't know that existed. You should have seen the air quotes he threw up around that. Yeah, but reach out. Let us know how you felt. Or reach out. Don't let us know how you felt. Whatever it is. We just want to hear from people.
Oh, should I say goodbye in my French accent?
Sure.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Feliz Navidad.
Did you say Merry Christmas to them?
Did I?
Yeah.
I thought I said the strength of a cat.
No.
Oh, okay. Viva la gato.
That means long live the cat, basically.
Yes, totally. I'm all about the cat.
La fuerza del gato. That's the strength of the cat.
Is it?
I think
So
so.
that's not French at all.
It's not. In fact, ever since I said au revoir, none of it has been French.
Okay. Le poupou, le French fry. As French as it gets, my friend. French that up.
No. Sorry, France and Quebec and
Quebec.
French Polynesia.
French Polynesia? I love that dipping sauce.
We got to go.
See you guys. No, I think legit's pretty locked in, so it's like there's not much to it.
Yeah.
We're not going to find anything super silly, like it means like a crooked penis or something.
That's legit.
You know, I'm going to get through an episode one of these times and not do a penis joke.
We're all waiting.
I could cut this one and I think I'd be okay.
So you're going to cut the penis. What is this, a bris?
It's hard. Now you can't have all the good penis jokes. Jesus Christ.
Well, you can't have that one. I'm Jewish. You're not.